So if you're wanting to show off your editing skills, a before and after video for Instagram stories is a perfect way to do this. My name is Josh, and today I'm going to show you how to do this, but before I get into that, let me know what apps you like to make before and after videos with. Leave a comment below, and while you're down there, hit that like button. So before and after Instagram stories are popular amongst many photographers on Instagram for a few reasons. First of all, keeping before and after photos to your stories keeps your feed clean with just the perfected images in the feed when people are scrolling through your photos. Second of all, it's a good way for you to promote your own presets or to show your followers more of the behind the scenes process that goes into making your final images. And lastly, and even more importantly, as most of the interaction on Instagram these days happens through stories, posting your images to stories as well as your feed maximises the likelihood of your work getting seen by your followers. We'll start off by exporting our photos from Lightroom in the correct aspect ratio, and then I'll show you what to do in Premiere to make a short before and after video cropped perfectly for stories. Although we are using Lightroom and Premiere for this tutorial, the principles will be the same for whatever software you use. So if you use these techniques, whether it's with Final Cut, DaVinci or whatever, this will work perfectly. So first of all, we need to get two versions of the photo we're using and then crop them to the correct size. I've got an edited picture of a lighthouse and I'm going to make a copy of it without any of my edits. You can do this by right-clicking the final edited photo and then selecting Create Virtual Copy and clicking the Reset button, which will turn the photo back to the original raw image. In this case, it also removes the crop I have applied to the final image, and I don't want that. I want to keep the same crop so that the other aspects of the edit are the main focus of the before and after. And more importantly, I need both images to have the same crop for Instagram stories anyway. So to fix this, go back to the original edited photo and click Copy, then click the Check None button, and then select the Crop option, as it is only the crop you wish to copy over. Then you'll need to paste this over to the other photo, so select that and then just click the Paste button. So now I have the two images side by side. I'd actually taken this photo over to Photoshop after the Lightroom edits just to tidy it up a bit, removing a few of the branches that distracted attention from the actual lighthouse, and also adding some sharpening to the image. So I'm going to use that image for my after. You can do the same if you also like to finish your edits in Photoshop. I also think the original raw image is just a bit dark for the before and after, so I'm going to put the exposure up a bit. So now that's us got the two images we need for a before and after, now we need to crop them to the right aspect ratio for Instagram stories. So the dimensions of Instagram stories is 1080 by 1920 pixels. This is equivalent to a 9:16 crop. So if we go to our photo and select the crop tool, and then select Enter Custom down the bottom, we can input our 9:16 crop. Then move the crop to where we want it to be. For most cases, like in this one, it will be best just to leave it in the middle. Hit Enter to make the selection, and then we'll go over to the before photo and do the same. Make sure the crop is in the same position as the first photo, which in this case it is. Okay, so now we've got our two photos, let's export them so that we can open them up in Premiere. So if we select both the photos by clicking the first one, and then while holding down Command on a Mac or Control on a PC, click the second one, then we can go up to File and then Export, or click Shift Command E for the Export shortcut. I'm going to put these in a subfolder called Lighthouse Before and After. Make sure the file is saved as JPEG at its highest quality, and then hit Export. So now we should have a folder with our two images in it. We can quit Lightroom and open up Premiere. I'm going to open up a new project, call it Lighthouse Before and After, and I'm going to save it in the folder we just created. Okay, so now we've got our project, let's import the two images. So we want to drag our after image onto the timeline first, and then drag our before image so it sits directly above it. If you notice, our sequence will automatically have the desired aspect ratio of 9:16. We can check this by right-clicking on the sequence and going to the sequence settings, and then the frame size will tell us the ratio. Here it is here. Now you can change this to be exactly 1080 by 1920 if you wish, so that the compression happens within Premiere and not Instagram. And I'm also going to change my frames per second to 24, although for something like this, it doesn't really matter what it's set at. Okay, so for the actual transition, all we need to do is apply a crop effect with some keyframes onto the top photo. So if we select our top image and then go to our effects menu and search for crop, and then drag this onto the effects control for the image. Now if we go to the crop menu and drag the cursor of the one that says left, you'll see that by increasing this, reveals the edited image sitting below. So now all we have to do is keyframe this so it starts off at 0 and ends at 100%. So if we make sure our cursor is at the beginning of the sequence and then return the slider to 0 and hit the stopwatch next to it, then if we move our cursor to the end of the sequence and increase the percentage to 100, we should get the desired effect. If we go back to the beginning and hit play, we get that smooth transition by cropping away the top layer and revealing the edited image. So that's basically all there is to it. You might want to increase the length of the video and have the transition take a bit longer. So just extend the length of the clips and then next to the crop on our effects control, just move the second keyframe to the new end of the clip, and there we have a slightly longer transition. You can change this around however you like by moving the keyframes and adjusting the amount to however you please to make a quicker or slower transition. Or you might want it to hang in the original image a bit longer by moving the first keyframe to the right a bit. Do whatever suits your image best. But that's it. You're now ready to export your video, send it to your phone using AirDrop or whatever method you like to use, and then upload it to Instagram. So that's all there is to it. I hope you found this useful, and if you're making your own before and after image, tag me in it or send it to me. My Instagram username is Josh McGeechan, and I'd love to see your edits and what you're working on. We'll see you next time.